All right. This is another edition of the Scuttlebutt Tavern podcast. I am Justin Ellis. This is Adam Gossett. We are the hosts of this podcast, and
welcome.
Yes, welcome all. Welcome, from each, side
from
of the
each of us.
From each of us, from both sides of the table.
Yeah.
Welcome.
There's from 2 of 4 sides of this table.
Yeah, you guys are actually encompassing the third side.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually no fourth side. There's nobody over there. There's the TV. We can count the TV.
Nope.
Yeah, we can't. It's not a person yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Soon to be.
It will be. I mean, well, shit. The way technology's pretty much evolving. I mean, we can already just talk to our TVs and be like, "Hey, turn on this show," and it'll bring up that show that you want.
We just Skype someone into the podcast.
I mean, we could.
Don't even let them know. We'll just do it.
Yeah.
Hey, if somebody's hitting me up. Hey.
Random Skype. Oh, that'd be terrible. You know how many dicks we would get? A lot. If it was just random people.
Well, you wouldn't. No, we would randomly Skype folks we know.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a horrible idea.
Yeah, that'd be a bad idea. That'd be like playing that, what is it, roulette chat, isn't that?
Yeah, chat roulette. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. Remember when Tosh did that on his show?
That was really bad.
It was just nothing but naked dudes.
What in the world? That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's probably not a thing anymore. I would hope not.
It probably still is.
Oh, how sad.
Naked dudes got to go somewhere.
No, they got to put clothes on sometime.
No. Well, I mean, sometimes they do. I saw a guy naked just yesterday, actually. I got done shopping at Bass Pro, and I was in the left lane to turn left, and I was just kind of sitting there, and I see this cop pull past me and pull into the parking lot right across the street. And there's this dude. He was just butt ass naked, just in this parking lot right next to the street, just chilling. And then as soon as the cop hopped out of his car, he started pulling up his pants.
Oh, so he had pants.
He had pants.
He just wasn't using them.
No, just not gonna use my pants.
That's ridiculous.
That's pretty cool.
The cop pulls up. I thought he was a hitchhiker. I thought I saw a thumb. But it was just a naked man.
Well, there was also this big dude that was he had some clothes with him. So I think he might have been inside whatever store that was and then got naked and left. Maybe. I don't know what was going on. I just know that there was a naked dude on the corner of the street. And I didn't really realize it until
Until it's too late.
It was too late. I had no time to be like, oh, naked dude. It was that's naked dude. All right. No time at all. No time to react. Yeah. I just had to go. The light was green. It turned green. What was I supposed to do? Be mad at a green light?
No, you be mad at the naked guy. You stroll up and you go, officer.
But it's a green light. I got to go. I got a responsibility to the people behind me. I'm number one in line.
I'm number one.
Yeah, I'm number one.
I got a big responsibility as number one.
Yeah, when you're number one...
I'm captain of everyone behind me.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
I'm floating this ship.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
I got a big... I can't get mad at every single naked dude that I come across. I'm the captain here. I got bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, I got a bigger fish to fry in the street up front. Captain of the ship.
Yeah, leaving Bass Pro.
Yeah, captain of the leaving Bass Pro line.
And, fucking, yeah. So I had to go.
That's an unfortunate highlight of the day that it becomes,
Well, then I went bass fishing, which that made everything all better.
It was even better, yeah.
So then I was catching naked fish because fish don't wear clothes. It's true. It happens, So, I don't want to say that wasn't the highlight, but that was kind of the funniest thing I saw all day. As far as amusing things that you wouldn't normally see, because to be honest, I don't see too many just random naked dudes walking around the streets.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
If anything, there needs to be less.
Well, there is now.
Good.
'Cause
One less.
Because at least for like until Monday. Because it's the weekend. He's not going to get released until Monday.
Oh, so you assume that he'll just get naked again on Monday?
Well, I mean, get naked once in public. You're probably going to do it. Probably isn't the first time you've had your dick out in public. I'm just saying if
that might just be a problem.
If you're on a corner of if you're on the corner of a major intersection and you're just ass out, something tells me that's not the first time you've done this. This isn't. If you're a full-grown man, this isn't the first time you've whipped your dick out in public.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't seem like something a regular person's going to end up doing, so he probably is compulsive to do it. Keen to do it again someday.
Yeah.
Let's just hold on to him. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. Not my type.
Oh.
Zinger.
I suppose.
Yeah, well,
Did you end up playing No Man's Sky VR?
Not at all.
Yeah, me neither. I knew I wouldn't. I was really wanting to, and I still might tonight, but I probably won't. Hopefully I do. But what I tidbitted of it was good. Seems like they fixed the issues I had.
Yeah,
At least enough to where I can play it.
I want to sit down and actually give it a good go and check it out and give it a solid college try, because I will say, when I started playing it outside of VR, I mean, I haven't played it since the VR upgrade.
You played it in VR some though.
I have played it in VR, but when I played it in VR, it was just I just couldn't be down on the planet because it just kind of sucked. And then being up into the spacecraft, it was really weird, and my controllers weren't lining up. There's all different control issues and shit that I was having. So I just put it down. I was gonna wait for 3, 4, 5 updates or something like that. Just to really kind of let them work the bugs out, because I mean there was a lot of issues with it, with the rendering distance and shit. It just made it to where when you were on the planet, you weren't really on the planet. You were in this small bubble on the planet.
Yeah, being in the caves was okay because that render fog wasn't as big a deal because you're always up on some walls.
Right.
But I mean,
well, and also it's a cave. You know, so it's going to be dark in there, so you're not going to be able to see a long distance anyways. Yeah,
some of the caves are illuminated a little bit because they got the glowy rocks and mushroom looking crap you can't really interact with.
Yeah.
But that render fog on the surface made it just impossible. The combat in space has been cleaned up quite a bit now too. I really like that I can follow what the dude's doing and not just there was a moment pre this update to where I would just spin while I was in the flipping spaceship while I was trying to dogfight somebody, and I was just out of control, just spinning, and I had to let go of the joystick in game and grab it again and start over. It was almost impossible. So even if it's kind of difficult right now or not perfect, it's doable, and it almost wasn't doable just a little while ago. Right.
And yeah, so I'm ready to get back to it. I'm ready to see what it's, because I was in the middle of building a base, and that's another thing is building a base in there. They give you a limited amount of space that you can use, and when I mean a limited amount of space, you can only use so many panels for a structure or something, but I'm not sure how it works.
Is that not based on the resources you're carrying? It'll let you look out more panels if you had more to build them with? Or?
No, I had the panels. I already had them built. It's just it wasn't allowing me to place them. It was saying that there was too many
of that.
Yeah, there was too many panels already.
That's annoying.
And I'm not sure if that was something that I was doing wrong when I was building the base, or maybe I should, because I was just trying to build a tall ceiling, and it wasn't really letting me do that. And I wonder if because I was just trying to make this big base. That's what I wanted to have, multiple rooms with multiple things. I was going to have basically I was going to make it into a U, and I was going to have like a landing pad just right in the middle of the U. So, and it was just going to be like one floor essentially, but it's just going to be a U.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But then it was like limited, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
that fucks it up.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure whether or not like, I'm not sure if they fixed that or if that's like an issue everybody's having, or, you know, maybe it's, maybe I should try just building like small buildings, but like far away from each other, because it's a floating island and it looks like a peanut. So I could probably build like one house on one side and build like something else on the other side if it's like a space issue, but I don't see why it would be, because, you know, I've seen like these structures to where it's like they have giant, you know, bases.
I mean, it didn't look like it should be an issue. Like I was wanting to build like a hangar, like a little slot in the side of a building that I could just fly my ship into, and then some little, you know, maybe stairs or something coming. But if it's gonna limit me, I may not be able to do that.
Right.
I don't like it.
Me neither. But I mean, it also could just be an issue that I'm having with, you know, and not like an issue that like anybody else is having. So it may be something that I'm specifically doing, or it may be something that I need to do. Like I may need to build more like consoles or like those like build. Like, I don't think I need to build any more like building units, like the base thing. Oh, my shit's fucking ringing.
Oh no. It could be similar to like in maybe 7 days or something like that, to where you have like a limit you have to go out before more structural support's added before those panels will be allowed.
But see, I have walls because it's sectioned off. Because what I was going to do is I was going to have 2 rooms on either side that had safes in them, or the storage things, because you only have up to like, I don't, the last time I played it was like 5 slots on there. There's a very small amount of space that you can actually put into them, which is really crazy because the thing's huge.
Yeah.
It's like, why would it be this big in order to store only this amount? You know, it just doesn't make sense.
No.
It's like I can carry more than this thing, and I'm much smaller than this. It should at least be like, I should be able to put one in there and at least be able to remove the stuff off my ship.
Right. No, yeah, most definitely. That's not... I don't know. That's disappointing. It seems like the base building is just a kind of almost maybe a shell of what I was anticipating. Because like they actually included the ability for you to travel back to your base. Apparently you can just zing back there.
Oh yeah, you have a little like warp teleporter thing. I've got one of those.
Well, yeah, it's like I wanted some incentive to come back. It doesn't sound like I'm getting any.
Well, but here's the cool thing is like once you build that base, you can build another base on another planet.
And that's teleportation.
Then, yeah, you can just teleport from one planet to another. And this would make it kind of good to have multiple planes or multiple ships, because you can just zip to one planet to the next planet and just use the ship on that planet.
Yeah, since you can have a freighter now, having multiple ships won't be an issue.
Mm-hmm. But I am pretty sure, like, in order to get a ship to that planet, you're either going to A, have to find a ship on that planet or bring one there.
And leave it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's not too bad.
No.
I mean, once you get to a certain point in that game, that just gives you another goal.
Yeah.
Because like you kind of get that feeling of like, dang, what do I like do now? What'll keep me wanting to go still? Because I hit about 60-ish hours or something like that and started to think, dang, this is starting to get kind of, I don't actually want to see this thing through anymore at this point. It doesn't seem like there's much going on.
Right.
So hopefully they've tackled, I mean, I know they started to build onto like a lot of the game's ins and outs since I've last fucked with it. It seems better. And just playing in VR is better. And the little things that I like to do in No Man's Sky anyway are just accentuated in VR, like cataloging flora and fauna and like naming them things and actually having, that experience in first person for real is much nicer. It's a lot cooler.
Yeah.
And get to find stupid looking little creatures, be like, oh, that thing looks like it's suffering across the ground. I'm going to name him Slugbutt and just leave him be. And then the rest of the world will, whenever they land on that planet, they're like, oh,
Slugbutt.
Oh, what is this slug? Aptly named Slugbutt. That thing's terrible. I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
I need the carbon.
He looks like he needs killing. I feel like he's suffering anyway. This is just a favor, really.
Or you're just like,
It's fun to. I accidentally killed Slugbutt. Shit.
Yeah. You.
Oh, it's on me. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's Slugbutt.
Tastes like pup. Oh
God.
Tastes like grandpa.
I slipped in it. I tasted it. I don't like it.
Oh, this bad.
It's over.
It's Slugbutt.
I have something floating around in space in that game named Little Buddy.
Oh.
And it would be terrifying, really, if it wasn't so little. It's this thing that looks like a T-Rex, but his eyes are much like grosser looking. They're kind of like recessed, and there's like more than one of them, it looks like. He's got this weird like flanged head that like goes back almost like a Triceratops head, but more like horns.
Yeah.
But he's like 2 feet tall.
Oh.
And he like runs from me, and he'll like look back, and he'll like keep running. He'll get like several, inches away, maybe 4 feet at the most, and be like, like keep running. I'm like, you're never gonna get away from me. It likes to try and be terrifying, and it looks like it would be if he was a lot bigger. But
right.
They're all so small.
Right. Well, it's kind of like
little buddy.
Well, it's kind of like every single bug out there. Like if you look at bugs,
yeah.
If like just imagine a praying mantis was 6 feet tall.
That would be an issue.
That would be a big issue.
That would be a huge issue.
That'd be pretty fucking terrifying.
Yeah, this thing looks like it would probably be able to take a finger off if he weren't such a scaredy cat. But he's big enough to where if there were other creatures that existed nowadays, I'd like to see them less at his size. I don't want to see no 2 foot tall scorpions or anything. Fuck that.
No, yeah, fuck that.
That's no good.
Or like
I'd rather see Little Buddy.
Yeah.
Treading the plains, not really getting away, but trying.
Really trying.
Yeah.
Like really.
Till he's dead. I'll chase him till he stops because his heart stopped. Get along, little buddy.
Do you think it would eat on groundhogs?
Yeah, meat eating for sure. Got the sharp little teeth.
Because I mean, if it's like scuttling around, it'd be like great for going in like holes and shit.
What he would do is he would try to get away because I'm still following him and cataloging this little guy.
Yeah.
He runs and he's still running, and then he sees Slugbutt and he rips him to shreds. Eats Slugbutt and then tries to get away.
Yeah. Oh. But I mean that's kind of how shit works though. It's like, oh, run away, something's gonna eat me. Oh, just like I'm gonna eat you.
I'm gonna eat something.
Run away.
That's trying to run away while I'm running away.
Yeah, get out of there. Get out of there, Alan.
Get out of there. Get out of there. I'm also rooting for the little guy, little buddy, while I'm following him around.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's fighting him, but I hope he gets away from me. He never will.
No, I bet he's poisonous.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Like to eat
and to bite.
Oh, okay.
Like if it bites you,
I haven't been bitten by one.
Well,
but I've been eating them all day.
You shouldn't eat them.
Slow roasted little buddy.
Slow roasted little buddy.
Selling them in packs, little packs. Sell a lot of them.
Do you got slow roasted shawarma buddy?
Yeah, like
some shawarma buddy.
Slow roasted and thin sliced, just right on the spit, and just carve you off a bit.
Right into like some like a wrap of some kind with sautéed veggies.
Oh man,
like some sautéed. Yeah, some sautéed.
Sauté.
Some sautéed.
Yeah, you're doing it again.
Saying it again.
Sautéed.
Some sautéed. Some sautéed.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. See,
it sounds like we got Little Buddy's Cafe on our hands.
Dude.
And in our mouths. Eating Little Buddy.
Yeah, that's... It numbs your mouth when you eat it.
Yeah, this tastes like it would be poisonous if it were to bite me when it was alive. But it's not, and I'm eating it instead. It's getting tingly.
Tingly, buddy.
Little Buddy. Let me tell you, Little Buddy.
Little Buddy.
Just while you're eating it.
You know what?
You
Imagine...
can talk to it. They'll serve pictures of it at the cafe, too. This is what he looks like.
But you know what's funny? is I'm pretty sure someone would eat a burger named Little Buddy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially if they knew it was made out of Little Buddy.
Oh, yeah. Little Buddy made out of Little Buddy.
See, that's the best part about No Man's Sky. Little Buddy.
Little Buddy.
Just him, and that's it. No, but I do like just finding new little critters and taking they picture and naming them stuff. Because no one's found it. I'm always flying past, like, little planets, and it's like, oh, this quadrant or whatever, 9% explored. You know, this place over here, blah, blah, blah. And there's new shit to be found everywhere still.
Well, yeah, it's a solar system. Like, I mean, not a solar system, but it's a universe.
It's big.
Not a universe, it's a galaxy.
Nailed it.
Look, I dropped out of high school. It's going to take me a couple tries.
That's okay.
So,
I went to school once. Didn't much care for it.
oh, dude, I knew someone that went to school once.
How are they doing?
Died.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, you can't stick with that.
Oh, no, car wreck.
At school. In school.
In school, they had a car wreck.
Oh, look out. I remember that. It was a flaming mess and made lunch more difficult to get to.
There were
bodies everywhere, screaming people in my way on the way to lunch. I had to step on a lot of people begging for help.
And you know what? It was pizza day, all right? Fresh, hot fucking pizza.
Yeah, which was everywhere.
Everywhere.
The car crashed into the pizza.
I was so pissed.
Oh,
I was so upset.
started striking all the burning bodies. Right, I knew
especially the ones that weren't quite dead yet.
I had to hit them while the life was leaving their eyes. They're struggling to keep on.
I just wanted them to know that there was no hope.
They viewed it as a service, like I was trying to mercy people. But I don't feel like it was. I was angry.
So angry. That was my
hungry.
pizza. I was so, yeah, exactly. What is a person to do when you're that hungry?
Well, these burning bodies start smelling all right.
Look,
And
it's kind of like bacon. And you know what? I tasted a few, and it's kind of like bacon.
I thought I was doing
I
a
salted
service.
a few. It kept moving, kind of like bacon.
It'd be wasteful not to.
You know, starving kids in Africa.
They need it, and they can't have it.
And I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. It's
For them.
Yeah, this is for them.
Yeah, this is... It's kind of like eating your way through like a pool of spaghetti, but human bodies.
The ones that were, life leaving their eyes, those ones taste better.
Well, that's because they're fresh. Medium rare.
They're all like, help. And I'm like, try this. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, just
And
don't.
I start feeding them bits
And
of
they're like,
themselves. And they're like, dude, you're right. This isn't so bad.
yeah, why am I bleeding a lot?
And then, yeah, it's like, now you're eating proper meal on your way out.
Hush, Michael, hush.
Yeah, I knew this one.
I knew this one. That's why I knew he was going to be delicious. I could see what he was eating. He was eating all organic. It was just nothing but eggs and vegetables. Just,
Or well, I was going to say organic, but,
This was a nice, and don't forget, you also come across like, those grass-fed humans.
Free range humans?
Free range, grass-fed humans.
The ones that get to roam around a bit.
Yeah, and graze as they please.
So fat ones?
Rightly plumped.
I feel
But on grass. On
Yeah.
grass-fed. All veggies.
You ain't getting fat on veggies like that.
No, but the muscle becomes like supple and tender. They don't have a lot of strength behind them.
Actually, I'm sure I'm sure there's plenty of really fat vegans out there.
Yeah, they're not real vegans.
They cheated.
Yeah, a lot.
If I fry these in bacon grease, it's not meat for real.
Yeah, it's not meat. Well, see, the problem is like with like a really strict vegan diet, you don't get a lot of the stuff that you get from animal like eating animal products like B12 and vitamin D and some other stuff like that. And you have to supplement it. But the only real way to supplement it to where your body's actually really going to digest it is if it comes from an animal. So you kind of get stuck into this conundrum of you're kind of, I mean, you are eating a diet that you're not eating a shit ton of grains and a shit ton of fried foods. I mean, you could. I mean, as long as it's fried in vegetable oil, you know, or some sort of like canola oil.
Not a fat.
Yeah, not a fat, not an animal product oil like Castro. Jesus. That was loud as fuck.
It sounded like it was in a hallway. An empty one.
Holy shit.
Whoops. Well, there's that.
Yep, well.
I'm going to fall backwards.
There's going to be a lot of people that just go, nope.
Nah, this is...
You guys talked about fish eating shit out of your butts in the last podcast, and now you're burping real loud in this podcast. You guys are animals.
Look, if we're turning away people that are looking at... Look, this is real talk.
That are listening and looking.
If you're going to burp hard, you know, stand tall, burp hard.
Hurts your throat. Really just get it to where it's like...
I just choke a little. I shouldn't have done this. Remember me. I'm bleeding inside.
I think I popped blood vessels on that burp.
There's blood in me. I have blood in me.
Yeah, I have blood in me.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Terrific. No, if the people that see this shy away, then I don't even want them here.
No, they just can't hear. They just have the volume up.
Yeah, excuse me? Yeah, burp. Oh. I hurt my ears so bad.
Someone's just sitting at work just with headphones and just like, Jesus.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Sorry. You know.
I didn't mean to burp everybody. I burped. Like, you just own that burp. I just did people a favor. They could own a much larger burp than they had.
Just make sure you have it on your computer. Like real loud at work. I mean, you should probably listen to this in really inappropriate places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Library.
Yeah. Library.
Library.
Yeah, in the library. In the, you know.
in the annex. Or the den. Even.
Dave's den.
Mayhaps.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
I'd burp in the foyer.
Ooh, burping in... I try to fart in the foyer. It traps it.
That's a good idea. And it stays there. Yeah, people walk in afterwards are like, what's going on in this foyer?
It's a bad one.
Someone soiled the foyer.
It's just, you know what? I can't be farting right now.
Oh?
I've been eating a lot of meat and not eating a lot of vegetables. So I've been having like kind of suspect farts.
Hit or miss farts.
Well, sometimes they are, and sometimes they aren't farts.
You ever miss your pants on one of those farts?
Nope.
Good.
Not yet.
Close. Soon.
Well, you can usually tell. You can usually tell because it's like this fart's kind of heavy.
I'm on the cusp. I better just not.
Yeah. Or it's like you one of those like, well, this one might be a weird one. I'm gonna go ahead and go sit down. I take precautions. I wear Depends, just in case.
It depends.
It depends.
Just shit yourself. It depends.
Depends. But no. So I haven't been farting in 4 years.
Good.
Recently.
I have one at my work. I don't need you farting there.
I do every time I go.
Oh.
Have you noticed me stand there for a minute?
Yeah. I have. Now I know. Gosh dang it.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Way to go.
That's why I hold the doors for people.
Good job.
So I can be a gentleman and...
They can waft on through it.
Well, no. I hold the door and wait until they go through. and then fart as they're going through, so that way all the doors shut for the next person that comes in. And then I can blame it on them.
These are fart techniques.
These are fart techniques.
Everybody, let's rap about fart placement and techniques. We got this down. This
is how you properly place a fart in public.
Yeah. Dropping bombs. Dropping fart mics.
First tip, do not shave your ass.
Oh.
It will.
Well, that about does it for fart tips.
Thanks for joining us on the Fart Corner.
Yeah, Fart Corner.
Yeah, here's your tip for today. Don't shave your ass.
That's been one. We rapped. That's a rap.
Yeah, that's a rap.
On rapping about farts.
Yep. And that's a...
Maybe some other time. There'll be more.
So I guess there's going to be a rematch with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury.
A third one.
A third one.
I don't know that that's warranted.
There was a rematch clause in the contract.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there was basically a rubber match clause, because the first, I will say, like, the rematch clause, I feel like would have made more sense. I mean, made less sense if like one of them had like won the last one. So, or, you know, it would only make sense if like it was 1-1. But see, realistically right now, it's just Tyson up 1, there was a draw, and they really kind of have to do it at least once. At least once.
I don't know.
You know what? I think this is...
It sort of reminds me of the Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz thing, to where like there was a stoppage and then there was this decision, and then it's like, I don't know. I feel like that warranted more of a rematch than this necessarily did, because both the one was a shutout. Like, Conor did his best, Nate won, struck him down and choked him up a little bit. And then the next one was a really closely contested full round fight. I think there needed to be a rematch. This one was different because it started on a draw, and then it was like, so who's better? And then they come out and it's like, bow, Tyson Fury. And then it's like, that blows me away because I didn't think he was going to do it. But I feel like it's...
You know, I think he... You know,
I wouldn't mind seeing it again, and I feel like that's why it's happening.
Well,
there's no point in, like, I don't necessarily think Deontay is going to win anymore. There would be a little bit too much learning involved in like getting around such an awkward fight style than is going to happen in that short a period of time. I don't know how long we think it's going to take for this to happen, but I can't imagine it's going to happen until next year.
I think it's supposed to be later this year.
Weird,
but well, you know what? It's like, I think as long as Deontay like tightens up his game and actually comes in like and works on some like technique and actually utilizing like some sort of game plan to use against this guy, and just because obviously like in the fight before he couldn't rely on that raw power. I mean, he could, but he couldn't. And in this fight, it was really showcased that he had a huge hole in his game. And the huge hole was getting put on his back foot, being pushed backwards. He can find that right hand if he's moving forwards. But if he's moving backwards, he has a hard time throwing it. Or he has a hard time actually getting the power he needs behind that punch while he's moving backwards. He's just not skilled enough of a counter striker in order to be able to counteract, that sort of bobbing, weaving, herky-jerkiness, and also smothering and pushing and punching. I'd
like to kind of see if Deontay happened to hurt his right hand in that fight, because it kind of seemed like it. Like after round 5, it was like he's not even throwing that thing. But then like beyond that, like Tyson had him shook. He was tentative for the last bit of that fight. Tyson had him in such a way that he was in a defensive shell going backwards, and I don't know necessarily that he's not like well versed in counterattacking. It's just that he had been busted up. His cheek was all fucked up, and he was having a really hard time responding to the occasion. He was just being walked backwards and struck. He didn't have an answer for it at the time. I think that like adversity got over him. He was he didn't have much an answer for getting like pushed around so much because he's never had that happen.
No.
I think it was just, and not to say he can't expand upon that, but at that point in time in their second fight, he had never experienced a opposition like that. And it really had him on his heels the whole time. The whole latter bits of the fight, where it began to be downhill. Because I like Deontay a lot, but I saw a dude that was froze up. Even the like height of his eyebrows and the way that he was like carrying his face, it just looked like the dude wasn't really like. It was kind of reminiscent of like the way BJ Penn carries his face when he's losing a fight.
Oh,
like, oh shit, oh what the? I wasn't really ready for this.
Yeah, well. He got put into that like really deep water, and he just, I mean, he should have the experience to be able to handle that. But I think something that happens with some of these guys that are really really talented in like one area and can utilize that talent really well. That right hand of Deontay Wilder, his power and his punch is just such a great tool that it's hard not to just utilize it all the time. And, it's kind of one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why should he fight different when he's knocking everybody dead? I mean,
Deontay?
Yeah.
Up until this point.
But see, that's kind of, it's almost like it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
Into the mic next time, bro. Come on. We're giving everybody something to anticipate.
We're
setting bars.
I wanted the first one to be quiet.
Okay. Yeah. Slow burn.
Yeah. I don't want to come
wanting.
in. Look, you just came in hot.
That's not even true. I burped them several times in the past. I make sure I burp. I just wanted that.
Well, this one
wasn't the one.
Background
wasn't the one.
Echo burp.
I see. They got to be
off
chosen.
The walls.
It's a hand-picked scenario.
It's one of those things.
This thing is one. No. I wouldn't feed this one to the mic.
No. Yeah, fuck off. But back to my original point of what I was saying about Deontay Wilder is the thing is his lack of boxing technique allowed him to be able to utilize his power a lot. And he was using it in awkward ways, in ways that people weren't really used to, because like you kind of have to think about it as there's a lot of people who are expecting this like straight up like boxing sort of like style and this sort of like boxing sort of like technique. And here comes Deontay Wilder with this crazy ass punch that's like going to put you into orbit, and he's coming up off the back foot and he's like promoting himself like inches, behind your head.
Right.
So it's like, this crazy, like, really unorthodox fighting style has really suited him really well over his career. But now since he's, like you were also saying, that, this is really the first time to where someone's been able to bully him and be able to put him into a position now to where he's, like, I mean, Ortiz did too. I think, what is his name? I can't remember his first name. His last name's Ortiz. He's like this cute, big ass Cuban dude that's fucking. He says he's like 40, but everybody thinks he's like 60.
That's interesting.
Everybody thinks he's old as shit.
Gave him fits though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gave him a lot of fits right up until the time Wilder knocked him out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That was a finish, so it was really easy to be like, no, there's a matter of time, but then like you see it when you just can't get it going and it exposes flaws.
Yeah.
There's something I've noticed about like some really, especially in boxing, mostly in boxing because there's limited facets. Whenever a guy that's unorthodox has large success, he's the kind of person who usually shows when they lack technique and stuff like that. Because like here's a better way to look at it. A person that has really decent discipline and technique can hang on the whole time and give you that tooth and nail exchange.
Yeah.
a guy that's really proper with that technique can use such technique to carry himself for a while. And a dude that hasn't really got that technique down is going to struggle a bit more in deep water.
Yeah.
It starts to become kind of a, oh crap, I can't lean on etiquette, techniques, know-how and the right way to go because all I did was like lick hard shots and try to come from weird angles.
Well, it's kind of like, remember when Sage Northcutt came into the UFC?
He did good.
He did really
until
Mickey Gall.
Yeah.
You
get a guy who will put you in that realm where you're not so well versed and put it to you a little bit and you don't have much of an answer for it.
And I think
rough. That's the most common issue with MMA persons, like lack of response. Boxing etiquette can't really. You just got to have foundation wrestling or grappling of some kind.
Yeah.
What's weird about that is like Sage Northcutt was able to like kind of, if I'm not mistaken, talk his way into the UFC without like actually having MMA experience because of his like resume as a karate fighter.
No, he was on the that Tuesday night the Dana White looking for a fight.
Was he? And that was his first, wasn't it?
That's when Dana White saw him and he was like, "Hey man, you're fighting in the UFC."
Interesting.
And then he came in and like fought in the UFC.
Yeah,
and
he
then
fought that one dude I've never been a big fan of. He's some dude.
Yeah.
He got wrestled to the floor a lot though in that fight, which was kind of weird. It was like, I didn't think that the Sage Northcutt dude was going to even bother grappling, but he'd punch dude into the cage a lot and then throw him on the floor and work punches from down there. And it was like,
right.
Maybe that's not so bad. The dude's name's I can't think of his name. It's there's T's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
He's a guy with T's.
He has some T's. He has white tees. He has black tees. He has Hanes. Those Hanes tees.
Oh, I want to say T. Timmy, T, Tiger. Nah.
Nope.
Not there. Can't find it. Not important enough.
Yep. I remember Sage.
Sage is good. I wish he'd have fought more.
All the way up until he fucking got his face broken.
Oh, did that happen? Who broke his face? I don't guess I remember. Well, because I know he's a pretty darn good fighter. I was looking up just random tidbits today and didn't realize this one fight a few months ago last year when Michael Venom Page got a big, received a KO. And it was kind of startling. I was like, wow. Because he got his lead leg kicked out perfectly and he fell on his knee. And when he fell down to his knee, the dude uppercutted him and fucking knocked him loose. And then he got down on him and hit him with a couple hammer fists. And ref had no reason or no choice but to save him. He was getting floored. But I had never seen that. I don't actually know how old that fight was. But Michael Venom Page got flipping knocked unconscious. It was bad.
I have to kind of adjust my camera a little bit so that way the TV's not in the picture.
Yeah, you don't want anybody to see that shit.
Yeah, so they're going to be looking at you.
What up?
But you're going to be watching this.
Excuse me.
M&M's.
I liked Sage Northcutt's fighting style. He's one of those weird dudes that when you see him put down, because his second win was by a submission in the UFC, and when he gets a good hard guillotine choke. I didn't know he didn't fight in the UFC anymore, but I hadn't seen him in so long. It makes perfect sense. It's never good to have a broke face. I should know. Was that it?
Yep.
That ain't so bad. I expected something like
broke
bloody.
His fucking face.
Really? Did he get an injury?
Oh, massive.
Really?
It was a really, really bad injury. That punch fucking destroyed his face.
Really? Oh.
Yeah,
it did not have that sort of a look on it. I guess that's what you get whenever you
the thing is the dude he was fighting, who was he fighting?
In case you're wondering, we watched when Sage Northcutt got hit in the face. I'm experiencing an orange blinking light here.
Yeah, that's fine. I am too.
Okay.
It just means that the battery life is kind of going dead.
I didn't really. I'm experiencing a blinking light.
Well, the good thing is it's blinking.
Cool.
So that means it's still recording.
Good.
And you may be recording in 5K. I'm not sure whether or not you are or not. Oh, I gotta do this.
Oh, that guy?
I gotta do this right here. No, it was a really, like, he had some, like, major facial breakage. Like,
yeah, that didn't actually end. I mean, obviously he got rocked up and hurt. But to me, that didn't look like something so bad as to need any sort of fixing or surgeries.
well, see, here's the thing, is, like, this is what I think about it. The reason why he didn't get, like, smooth, knocked unconscious is because his face broke.
I see. That's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, think about it. If his face didn't break, then all the force would have been transferred inside of his head, and that would have caused his brain to, like fucking just rattle around.
This pee-pee time.
Oh, it's pee-pee time. Well, what it would have done, it would have caused the force to go into his brain and rattle around, and that would have ended up making that would have ended up probably causing a lot more brain trauma and actually causing him to get knocked out. So I just kind of think that when his face kind of shattered apart, because, I mean, he had a few breaks in his head. I mean, it was a pretty severe injury that he took. I'm going to kind of look up the see. I'm going to look up his injury, because, I mean, it was like a broken cheekbone. It was pretty bad. It was really pretty bad. It was one of those fights. It was one of those injuries to where he might, like, I don't know if he'll ever actually, like, come back from that. How much? Almost sliced off his nerves. It was brutal. Let's see. Super Sage North recovering after a 9-hour surgery. Yeah, this is probably going to be the good one here. This is from. I don't know. I don't know if this is. This might be fake news. This is from South China Morning Post. But no. Ripping pants? On camera?
Got it.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's a funny picture.
Yeah, that's what he looked like after his... Like that.
What's all that? What happened to his...
That was from the punch.
He got hit in the face, though, right? What's wrong with the top of his head?
Yes. Oh, here, look. Actually, this is what we'll look up. The x-rays. That's... I saw the x-rays on behind him.
I saw some of that. That didn't look any good.
No, it was...
Holy crap.
X-ray. That's E.
Ex-girlfriend.
X. But no, this was a really, really nasty injury. Let's see.
I see that. That's pretty hardcore stuff right there.
Yeah. So there you can see it over here. That's all broken here, all the way down. And that's broken here, and that's broken there. And that's broken.
Where the temple's at, too. Oh, my.
That was all from that punch.
That's full coverage. It didn't look like it was that big a punch. He's got a fragile face? What's going on here? Wrong place, wrong time? Does he move into it too much?
You know what? I think that it didn't look like a brutal punch, but you know what? I
kind of like to see like a slow-mo.
Well, this dude's like a really top-notch kickboxer. Like, he fought in Glory and shit.
Oh, the
like,
dude that got him?
Yeah. Like, he's a top-notch kickboxer. This, like, Sage should not want to, like, you don't want to trade blows with this guy. Like, he's capable of fucking doing that. He's that sort of guy. And now he has 4-ounce gloves. And he's used to punching people with, like, 8, 10-ounce gloves, something like that. Whatever fucking Glory uses.
Yeah, Sage is, like, gifted, though he's not one of those knockout kings, you know what I mean? He's not really blowing through people with strength like none other.
He's no Wonder Boy Thompson.
He ain't.
I mean, he's
Wonder
a karate
Boy put
guy.
A stamp on a human being.
I think if Wonder Boy was in this fight, it wouldn't have I don't think Wonder Boy would have gotten caught with that punch. I mean, it was a cool...
No, one of Wonder Boy's best traits is being right out of harm's way.
Yeah.
And putting himself out of harm's way and just out of harm's way right at the last moment.
Yeah.
Very crazy.
He does a really good job at it. You know, and...
When's the last time he fought? Does he do shit anymore? Come on, Wonder Boy.
Dude, he's like 37.
I don't care. He's a Wonder Man, and he should be fighting some still.
He's... Why? Why is that even part of the... I don't even know why that's even part of the, like, search.
Because I'll bet you'll get that a lot. I'll bet that, like, just because of how popular bro is, it pops up in the conversation too often.
Sure, why not?
What a loser.
I would not want to see that fight.
No, it wouldn't be any interesting in the least.
No. No. We're
talking about Grandpa versus
Sage Northcutt.
Yep.
Grandpa would whoop the shit out of him.
Yeah, he would.
Well, also my grandpa was a heavyweight.
Nice.
Well, not like he would be, like he was never under 200 pounds.
The big boy.
He was a big guy.
Beat up Sage Northcutt.
Oh, he would.
Good.
He was one of those. He was one of those like rural area. He was also in the Air Force and shit.
Oh,
yeah. I bet he would give him an old rattling.
Loosen some screws.
Yeah.
Show him what for.
He would do something. I don't know about my other grandpa. He'd probably get beat up.
Oh.
I like him. He's a really good dude. I like my grandpa. I like both of them. Well, one of them's dead.
Ah.
So I like him too.
Good.
I mean...
I like Sage Northcutt, but that won't keep me from whooping his ass.
And it also doesn't keep him from dying either.
Nope. No.
But see, then again, I also don't... See, I don't know if Sage is actually going to be fighting anymore.
He might not. To be honest, that's one of those like trophy striking styles that looks really nice. He was not supposed to carry himself around the top tier of striking.
Well, after an injury like
sports.
that, like, I mean, look how long it took Roy McDonald to, come back from his broken nose.
Yeah.
I mean, that injury there, I mean,
that thing got pounded over and over and over again.
There's no way that his shit's not going to break as soon as it gets fucking, like, shin kicked.
Right. You're talking about Rory.
Well, not Rory. Rory's shit's actually healed up.
Ah.
His shit, but the nose is a lot easier to fix than, like, your cheekbone. Like, that once it's, like, complete, like, I mean, it'll heal up, but,
Yeah.
I think it's also like this. He had, like, significant breaks. Like, he had, like, significant damage to the cheekbone. It wasn't just, like, like a fracture. Because I think if it was just, like, a small fracture, like a hairline fracture, I think that would actually heal up and it'd be just fine. You probably wouldn't have too many issues with it. Matter of fact, it'd probably heal up a little bit stronger.
Ah.
You would actually, like, kind of like how, like, your shin bone, whenever it's conditioning, the way it conditions is you get these little tiny fractures and the body starts placing calcium over those to fix it, fixes the fracture, and then it, like, reinforces it.
Yeah.
So that's why you get those knots all down, like, Muay Thai fighters' shins and shit, because of checking kicks and getting kicks checked and kicking things that are hard, because you have to condition your shins in order to kick into a check, especially, because that's just part of, that style of fighting is you're going to be kicking hard spots.
Yes.
Like shins and elbows and shit like that. So, like, I think a small fracture may actually heal up and may actually make the region a little bit harder because the body's adapting to that sort of trauma. Whereas, like, I think with an injury like Sage Northcutt's, it actually makes it weaker because now, since there's been significant breaking, there has to be significant healing, which there's going to be a lot of scarring in there, which is probably going to end up making that area more brittle.
It's kind of like Josh Koscheck's fractured orbital socket whenever he fought GSP the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They fought again, and the very first thing that happened was Koscheck was jabbed in it, and it busted it again.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, that's a horrible precursor to this fight.
Yeah.
I didn't want GSP to win. Not because of America or anything. I just don't like GSP. Never have.
Well,
and I got Canadian blood in my blood, so it's not like I'm...
Oh, that's it. See, everybody says Canadians are nice, but they're all dicks.
Oh, I can be less than nice, my friend. Excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me.
I apologize for that, but if it gets going, I could just be a little bit much.
Yeah. I don't have Canadian blood in me.
It ain't worth it. Don't go drinking any.
I mean, I try not to.
It's all right.
Is it?
No.
Oh. Damn it. Fucking Canadians.
I'm just trying to talk it up a little bit. Trying to sell my blood and maybe...
Just trying to sell your blood? Is that what you're doing here? You're under arrest. You're going to jail.
What, I gotta have a license to sell my own blood?
Yes. Not only a license, but a sales license.
Yeah, and a bigger bucket.
Yeah, you need... I drew a blank on that one.
Your blood receptacle's far undersized, sir. Get out of the street. Also, you can't sell your blood in the street. It's not a spot for that at all.
Yep. I don't think you're allowed to sell your blood in the street.
Yeah, there's probably all sorts of laws against selling your blood. Doesn't seem like it makes sense.
Actually, yep.
That's it. Just can't do it.
Yep. It's we're done now, and I'm getting out of here. Just peace out.
Yeah. I'm gonna flip this table.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I have things to say about Kingdom Come Deliverance. I have another tournament coming up.
oh, you do?
They happen constantly in that game. They're every week, but I spend more and more time sleeping in the evening in that game because it's hard to get anything done at night. You can't see much of anything, and if I'm using a torch, the people I'm searching for in the woods will know of me. Like, what the fuck's this guy doing?
Well, yeah, it's dark. It makes
trying
sense.
to sneak, trying to creep. So I sleep at night a lot. So that 1 week tournament comes around quicker and quicker every time. And I found out a really big, helpful couple of things in that game that are making combat much, much easier in a fair way, because I was having to cheese some maneuvers that I didn't think were like necessary to have to win. But I discovered that if you're blocking and you press attack, like if you're holding down block, not trying to use a perfect parry or anything like that, but when you're holding down block and just receiving oncoming strikes, if you press the attack button right at the right time, your guy will let out a much quicker kind of a counter attack, and you can sort of trade those back and forth until someone gets hit. Another thing is when you're landing your blow, you're supposed to press the trigger button as your sword strokes are landing, and you'll get faster second and third strikes going. Your strikes happen quicker depending on you pressing your button again when your sword's connecting with his sword, and that gets a much faster second sword stroke going. So
okay, so there's a lot of like timing that comes into the like techniques, and
yes,
your utilization of it is also okay. That's pretty cool. I'm glad that they actually like implemented that into there.
Yeah, it makes it to where like once you get a halfway kind of a rhythm going and you're swinging fluidly, it's like it's got pretty good results, and it's a good idea. You can feint in the game too, which I knew about. It's handy. You can charge a strike, like wheel your strike back one direction, and then at the last moment, you flick the stick the opposite direction, but you wait for them to put their sword up appropriately. So you're like, charge your strike on this side, and they'll place their sword or their shield that direction to block it. And at the last moment, right before you let the trigger go, you flick the stick to where he's pointing his sword this way. And it'll hit him up on the opposite end where they're not blocking any longer, and it works a lot. It's very cool. Another thing, whenever a guy's swinging at you, right before the little tiny green shield pops up that implies that you can use your perfect block, you can actually, right before the shield pops up, they said it has to happen before, so you have to get even better at timing because you won't have an indicator anymore. But if you happen to do this right before the shield pops up, you flick the stick left, right, or backwards, you'll evade the strike and just get out of the way.
Oh.
Yeah, very handy. Another thing, which actually required a lot of training in the
One
game.
more thing.
One more thing. You have to actually master a weapon, which I think requires that you be at least a 15 with it.
Yeah.
Which I'm only up there with a sword right now, but I'm getting close with the axe. You can actually learn master counterattack techniques that whenever you see that green shield pop up when someone's attacking you, if you can push the parry or block button immediately as soon as that green thing pops up, your guy will not only parry, but he'll like riposte the dude too. So he'll like put a sword tip on him and walk him backwards, or even worse, sometimes hit him square in the face, and it injures and it hurts, and you can win a fight by just using that.
Nice.
And so now if I'm like using my two, because people are doing that to me all the time, especially in the tournament.
Yeah.
I've been swinging on fools, and it's got to be the first strike. If you can't catch it with on this first strike, the next few strikes that they do you won't have the opportunity for that.
Right.
So it has to be the very first time they swing.
That makes sense, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what...
It can hurt kind of bad. I've had dudes in the tournament in the later bits of it catch me with a couple of those in the face, like some perfectly like parried riposte, and like catch me in the face, and it usually like leaves my dude bleeding like the first time. I'm like bleeding from the head. I'm like nearly suffering like a full-on head injury. It's like, oh god.
Nice. Just now you're doing it to other dudes,
just with the sword. Soon I'll be able to do it with the axe, but
that'd be cool, because then you'd actually have two categories into the tournament to be able to utilize that technique.
What I've noticed that's actually really cool is like being proficient in the sword covers your proficiency in long sword and short sword.
Yeah.
That's two different categories in the tournament. So you're covered there if you're good at the sword. And then I'm good at the axe. So the only thing left is the Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
And lately I've been really lucky because I'll start the competition off with the short sword, which I know less skills with, but I'm proficient enough with to give the dude fits and stop the fight pretty fast.
Oh, yeah.
And then that way, the next fight, when I don't have control over picking something, it's either going to be the two-handed sword, which I'm best at, the axe, which I'm second best at, or the Warhammer, which I'm not versed in very well at all. And it hasn't been popping up lately. So I've been having a lot of luck in the tournaments just using weapons I'm good at.
Nice.
Very cool. Making a lot of money. I have like $26,000 in that game or something. That's a lot for back then.
Yeah.
Considering a piece of bread usually costs like 0.5 of one of those. Like a full loaf.
I mean, well, you got to think about it. Like $26,000 is like kind of, I mean, that's more money than I make, or right around the amount of money I make.
Yeah.
Somewhere right around there. And to have that sort of like money just even like 50 years ago or 60 years, like back in the 50s, to make, $15, $16 an hour was, I mean, you were making lots of money.
Yeah, this would probably be over the course of like in the game would probably be like 3 or 4 months, between 3 and 4 months. And it's all generated through hunting meat, cooking it and selling it off, or killing bandits and selling everything they were carrying.
Yeah.
Anything worth anything.
Yeah.
You gotta have a horse for that, because my horse is really good at carrying, so he can carry like 400 pounds and take out 3, 4, 5 bandit camps and like bring all their crap to a guy. Right now, the Ratai armor smith hates me, so I don't get a very good deal from him, so I'm trying not to sell to him anymore. But I have to seek him out to like repair my armor, so it's a conundrum.
Yeah.
I want my money back. That dude's carrying like fucking 11,000 of my dollars.
Is he?
Yeah. And I can't get it back because he hates me so much that like
Can you do shit to make him like you?
Yeah, but really only like in the form of like selling him my shit at a discount, so I could further get his money pool going to getting better with him.
Did you like try to haggle too much with him?
Yeah. Because what's happening is like I'm bringing in bits of armor that are worth like, between 2.5 to like 8,500, or no, 2,500 to like 2,000 a piece. And the dude's trying to, I'll sell him piece after piece, probably like 15 pieces at a time, and he'll try to offer me $3,000. And I'm like, dude, no. It's like I'm offering you what is easily about like, 9 to 10 grand worth of shit, and I'm sure his end would be like, how am I going to move all this armor? It's like, oh, it's irrelevant. You're going to turn around and sell it for a lot more, you piece of shit.
Yep.
And so he ends up getting mad at me and kicking me loose.
But the thing is you think about like places like pawn shops like what they do is they buy your shit at such a discount, so that way is when they turn around and sell it to customers at a discounted price from actual retail. So you may be getting it for, like, as a customer, you may be getting it for like 60, well, not 60, but you like anywhere from like 80, you're paying 80% of the price, or you're paying like 60% of the price, so you're only getting like 20% off or 40% off of the price. I mean, they're only paying like 10% of retail cost.
I can see that angle if I wasn't supplying this dude's livelihood. When I first ran into this dude, he was carrying $1.5 grand, and now dude's rolling around in, like, at that point in time, $14,000 of my money.
You know what
and
they
I had
should do?
to get it down to 11 by selling him some shit. I just can't stand the guy. So I actually, like, robbed his house and kicked his ass. Like, I saved before I kicked his ass because obviously I had to reload. Everyone in town came after me. I killed the bailiff. I killed guards, and then eventually got mowed down. But
which you can't have, because it's like that's a major, like, place of doing business. You just can't do it.
Yeah, I need that guy around. So I did it because I was angry.
Yeah. But so that's what save games are for.
Yeah, I bought the Savior Schnapps just for that.
Yeah. So, that's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. I mean, that's why I can't wait until like VR gets, oh man. I feel like VR is going to get much more. I've been watching Altered Carbon, and I kind of feel like we're really kind of heading towards this, like, really immersed, like, universe, or really immersed place. Like, we're going to eventually
It'll be less about, like, the burden of putting on equipment to play a game, so much as it will be a matter of just, like, a slight place of an item, a little tiny thing that'll put you in an arcade of sorts, a virtual arcade, giving you, like, you actually transport yourself in order to begin to play such things.
Or, like, almost like either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or something like that, to where you can connect to whatever device is going on, which is going to be really weird because, like, people can hack that shit. So it's like, how much do you really want to put inside your head? Is it something that you want to be permanent? Well, is it something that you want to be permanent? Or
it would be as simple for me as a socket or a receptacle, something I could plug a thing into.
Well, but see, that's enough for someone to be able to hack into your own brain and be able to, like, implant stuff. So, like, I mean,
is it?
Yeah, as long as they have access through. Like, have you ever seen? Oh man, after this, I'll have to show you this guy. His name's Donut Operator. He does a lot of, like, he does like Twitch and gaming and shit like that. But he also does a lot of, like, police videos and stuff like that. Like, he breaks down, like, what happens in, like, shootings and like, what whether or not something was, like, a justified shooting, or, he's like, hey, because he used to be a police officer. And it's kind of interesting to get his take because, he's not exactly like a dude, like, he just seems like a gamer nerd sort of guy. And it's kind of, you can see how he could have been a cop, but he has an interesting take on stuff, and it's nice to see, like, not just the, like, what I like to see all sides of the argument, and he kind of gives the side on the force side of the argument when it comes down to, like, a lot of those political stuff. But he went over all the different companies that had security breaches and the amount of information that they lost. And Jesus Christ, it just seems like you don't want to put any sort of, like, information into any sort of company, because all those companies get hacked and all that shit. All that shit just gets, like, uploaded, like, just stolen. There's a lot of information that gets hacked, and it's like, holy shit. And it's companies that are like, we protect we protect people's information. We protect like your information, this person's information, and their fucking shit gets hacked. So it's like, fuck. Yeah. And so I don't know. It's like, I don't know if I want something necessarily implanted into my head.
Well, that's why I was saying I wouldn't want anything any further than like a micro USB slot or anything like that. I mean, as long as that's the only issue, like if I'm not carrying storage data or anything like that in my head and it's simply a receptacle.
But see, the thing is your head is storage and data and all. It's
well, right, but such
computer.
a setup would be set to your eyes and not your brain, I don't think.
Well, if you have something that...
Because as soon as you're hooking things to your brain, you're tricking yourself into, like, being there too much and getting hurt for real and being like, I'm actually, like, it starts crossing boundaries I don't think anyone's interested in.
But I think a lot of people are interested in it.
Not I. I don't want to go that far.
You don't want to feel... All right.
Because then it's a nightmare. Well, it's potentially a nightmare and not just an experience.
Okay, so... All right. If you were in Kingdom Come, like VR, you have the visual, you have hearing. Now, what if you had smell? What if you had...
I think that'd be awful for 1403 Bohemia. I don't think you'd enjoy any of that. Especially the amount of time you have to spend cleaning yourself off in a trough and like not actually using a real bath. It would probably not be any good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I can see what you're saying there. So what about?
I don't know about smelling too many things while I'm playing a game. A lot of it might not be good. Might keep you from playing stuff like Dying Light.
Dying Light, No Man's Sky.
Dead dudes constantly.
All the time.
Is rotten meat smell the game.
Okay. What about certain feels and sensations? Because there's
That'd
vibration.
Be best. I think that'd be the best experience.
Okay.
If I was to play Creed VR and feel a slight sensation upon the exact area I was being contacted, that'd be interesting.
But is that not hacking your brain?
I don't know. Here's my issue. Like, we're so far away from that particular thing. I have a hard time fathoming the internet as like a way into my brain or a human's way in there. All it would really paint for me wouldn't actually become too big of a problem.
Yeah.
Because it might actually just emphasize the experience. Somebody hack into your brain and make you start seeing or feeling stranger shit than was intended in a video game. I think that's about as far as they could get you. Or place subliminal messaging or something like that. But like, you'd be all, but then you'd be as easy as like, oh, wait, I'm in this thing. I have this button that tells me I can like come out of it. Or
but like, what happens if someone like hacks that button though?
Well, that's why I'm hoping for a receptacle. I don't want to be permanently attached. But there should be a severance.
It could be like detaching like a flash drive or something, and it corrupts the data. So like you may have to properly dishook yourself from this console without actually suffering neurological damage.
I think such issues will be addressed long in advance.
You know what else issues that need to be addressed more soon? Like I gotta pee.
Taking pees.
Yeah. And not worrying about it.
I think in virtual reality games, a lot of it's so like invasive anyway that there's going to be a lot of measures taken to ensure that a person doesn't experience any discomfort. And that's at least going to include having intrusions and things like that. There's probably going to be all sorts of measures taken to try and ensure that a person can't come in. It could probably be as simple as allowing local multiplayer or even just like disabling it altogether. Because like when you're playing PlayStation 4 online, you're not really having any of your stuff hacked. It's all a very like closed circuit, and all this sort of stuff will be accessed kind of by like a video game console. So it's not like there's going to be too much middleman action. It'd be really professional software and hardware going to work to keep you safe, even more so than ever before. I don't really think that hacking of the brain would be a real issue to have to worry about, as exciting as that sounds, as movie action packed as that sounds, I think that's probably going to be one of the first things they try to nip in the bud. That would be like having somebody. It's a lot like trying to get into your Wi-Fi without a password. It's like it could be done, but only because you're like a single person running on like your Wi-Fi. If you're like a big company with like a name to defend, a reputation to uphold, they've gone through some shit to try and keep you off. And you'd have to be really, really slick or capable, have access to a lot of shit that like allow you to actually get over on them like that. Cause that's a big no-no. You got to figure that like the current age restriction for VR games is somewhere in the ballpark of like 12 years. And they know that. So like at least 12-year-old kids are playing this game. And as long as they've allowed for 12-year-old children to put on the apparatus and to experience the game, they've gone through some shit to make sure that they're safe. And that not only goes for the 12-year-old youngsters, but just anybody else involved, as long as they consider it okay for a person that's a minor to delve into this product, you won't have to worry about such things as like the hacking. And even if you've got internet, you know, it would probably be limited to a human that you've allowed to like share a session with you. Yeah. Like, if you were to get hacked, it would have been because you let someone in.
Well, yeah. I mean, most likely it would be because of that. Because, I mean, it would have to be some sort of like email or some sort of like, you know, personal invite or something like that. Like some sort of like interaction between you and them in order for them to be able to give you a virus. And especially with, and see, here's the thing. I wonder how easy it is to hack consoles.
I'll bet not very.
Because a console's really kind of a dumbed down version of a computer.
I don't know. I think it's a little different than that. I think that like a console's got so much more limitations than a computer that it makes it that much more difficult to get around things.
Well, it has very few access points.
Exactly. The thing's really streamlined. And whereas a computer is multifaceted, it's got a lot of ins and outs, and it's not as difficult to find a way in. Very accessible.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll just have to kind of see. Here's the thing. Just don't be the first person. Except if you're the first person, go for it.
Look out for that new company. You know, at this point, it seems like the companies that we experience gaming with are a little bit too closed and like tight knit to actually allow for any of this. Look out for a newcomer. Look out for a new video game
like
company,
Quest,
anything like that. You know, I don't think necessarily you're going to have any issues because they're coming up as well. Steam's a big deal. However,
well, Steam's a big deal, but Steam's been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like they're a pretty staple company, especially when it comes down to like PC gaming, as far as I know, because I'm not here's another thing is I am not an expert on PC gaming. So any sort of thing to where I go, PC gaming, I'm not an expert. But I will say Steam has been around for a long time because it was around when we were teens.
Yep.
So I mean, I think they've been around. Probably they
first surfaced when they were teamed up with Valve and creating Half-Life.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that's just incredible.
Yeah.
And so they started out actually, you know, on the video games themselves, and they've since gone to a kind of a video game platform and as a really big, like a mecca for like PC gaming and your way to get video games. Hell, I think that like Steam is what you utilize to get I might be mistaken here because I only use Humble Bundle the chance occasions I use it for the PlayStation 4.
Yep.
But I know that Humble Bundle is huge on PC, and I think that those are usually acquired through Steam, and that's awesome. You know, that's awesome. Not only is that charity work, but that's an easy way to get hot titles for low money.
Yeah, that is a good way. It's a very good way. I need to check it out.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah, but see, I also find a hard time like finding time to play games between doing all this editing and podcasting and other shit. It's just like it seems like my gaming time is slowly dwindling. But I kind of want to make sure that I like chunk out like at least like a good 8-hour period to play games.
Right.
Like I want to at least have like one day of gameplay.
I can usually manage that. In a perfect like scenario, I'd like to try and put in a little bit every day. I know that doesn't work. So I'd like to put in a little bit every like 5 days. And I know that doesn't work. So what ends up actually happening is I do it like 2-3 days out the week. I'll like get some good gameplay going. And that's fine. I'd like to make more time playing games. But when you have a full-time job, you can't really swing it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, full-time job and fucking doing all this shit.
What it comes down to is losing sleep. Now that's what's cool. Lately, I've been losing sleep to play games.
I haven't.
Nope. Missing out.
No, I'm not going to lose sleep.
You should lose sleep. It's fun. Go for it.
Nope.
Why not?
Well, because I like sleep. And I like waking up feeling nice and refreshed and being like, oh, I'm ready
I don't
for the
seem to
day.
have too many issues with that. One thing I have an issue with is extra sleep. If I felt like I've slept too much, it ruins it. It ruins everything. Life is only so long. I shouldn't be sleeping.
I like a certain amount of sleep.
How much sleep you get?
Anywhere from 6 to 8 hours.
That's about normal.
That's kind of what I figured.
I rock like 5 to 6. I try to rock 5 and 6. Less than 5 is just a little too little.
Yeah.
But if I have to do 4, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And if I catch myself in a scenario to where I'm like, I'm about to receive 8 hours of sleep, I may as well just play a video game for 3 hours and get 5 instead. And that's where I end up playing quite a bit of my games.
Actually, I've been getting a lot of sleep over my vacation.
Really?
Yeah. I've been sleeping in. Well, it's because I haven't been waking up at 3 a.m.
I had a
and it's
meeting on
also
Saturday, so it really got me. I only slept like 3 hours
it just
between Friday and
got you.
Saturday. It really got me going. No, I only slept from like, I don't know, like 3 a.m. till like 7, but I didn't get to sleep like right off the bat. So I only slept for like 3 hours that night. But then,
See, I can't do that shit.
Really? When's the last time you pulled an all-nighter? When's the last time you went 48 hours without sleep? I did it recently. It was cool.
Okay. Well, I can't really tell you on the podcast.
Sure.
I can tell you off the podcast.
Okay.
Because it involves people that I know.
Okay.
And you know.
Sure.
So, and details.
Okay.
That I don't necessarily want to just put on the internet.
Mine was just because I was anticipating an inventory. I had to go into work at like 10 o'clock at night. So I took that into consideration. And the night before, I just never went to sleep.
Yeah.
So I stayed awake from like, I don't know, like 8 in the morning until like
I can tell you this.
4:30 in the afternoon the next day. Something like that.
Why I was up for that long, I have no idea. And I don't know why I didn't sleep.
It's okay. It's good to do sometimes.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
No, it was a very bad idea.
Bad for you.
No, actually what it was is it was a realization that I make bad decisions sometimes.
Oh, okay.
And so it was just
mine led to more game playing. I just played more games because of it. But then like I started to really fade hard at like right around the time the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to walk my happy ass to the nearest gas station and get some like sugar treats and grab me an energy drink. And that kept me going.
No, mine involved a lady and drinking.
There you go.
And partying and stuff.
That was the last time you stayed up?
Yeah.
Past the whole day?
Past the whole day.
I see.
And and then all of a sudden now I started dating this like stupid chick. She's really dumb.
There you go.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? It was like a week into it. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing?
Stop.
I got way too fucking hammered. I ended up like sleeping with a chick, and it's just like mistake. Pull the ripcord. Yep. Well, it was definitely one of those situations where it was like, oh shit, like you've got way more issues than like a normal person should have. Like, and that's where I'm going to leave that at, because it's like I'm not going to.
I have a certain weight limit, and now I've over encumbered.
Actually, no, she didn't. She wasn't the biggest girl I've ever.
No, that's not
with.
what I meant. I meant in terms of baggage.
Oh,
over encumbered, just too much to take on. I've gotten a allotted amount, is what you're trying to say.
Because I've banged a front butt or two.
Oh.
They've been a little hefty sometimes. Hey, big girls need loving too.
Well.
I mean, You know? And I will say, one of the chicks that I was involved with, she was a bigger girl, and she was really cool. She was much older than I was. She was 37, and I was 22. She was much older than I was.
There you go.
Yeah. But she was a really cool chick. I mean, it was one of those things to where if I was older, yeah, it might have been something. But I was really young, she was really old, and that just wasn't working. Because, yeah, you know.
Would your mom have been upset?
Probably not. Probably not on that
Go for
one.
it.
No, not now.
Okay.
Now she'd be like 50, 60. It'd be like dating my grandma.
How old are you again? Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, no, but she was pretty cool. But she was a bigger girl. She was fun.
Oh.
Well, I mean, she was fun to hang out with.
Oh, I see.
Like, we fucking sit and, like, you know, drink and fucking hang out and listen to music and fucking chill and talk and fucking, I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, it's Jesus Christ. Look at the time. That time
already.
It is that time already. Is the end of the podcast because we are actually coming up on that hour 30-minute mark, and we're gonna have to shut this bitch on down. So.
It's last call.
This is the last call. Actually, it's past. We're all out of alcohol at this point.
Y'all finishing your alcohol better hurry up.
Yeah, you better fucking hurry up.
There's
You better
a time
do
limit.
it.
Even
Actually,
if you're up in your own house, you initiated a time limit.
What I want to know is why aren't you done drinking your alcohol by this point?
Yeah.
I would already been shit-faced by the time you're finishing up your alcohol. Quit being a puss.
That's a teetotaler right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Taking too long.
Yeah. You know what?
Grow up.
Yeah. Be a man. Get some hair on your chest. Yeah. That's what this podcast is about. That's what the Scuttlebutt Tavern is about.
That's what life is about.
Putting hair on your chest. We said it from the beginning, and we're going to we stand by it.
You spread hair on where it wasn't before.
Yeah, you spray hair on.
Spray it on.
You just spray on hair. Get it. Yeah. You want it as thick as possible. Cover them nips. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Hairy nips?
Yeah, hairy nips. I'm a you know what? That should be the new law. You know, it should be federal. Every man should have hairy nips. Cover them shits up. Nobody wants to see your hairy nips.
Nobody wants to see man nips. Why do I even got those? And ponder that for the next couple of days.
Yeah. All right. So on on the man nips comment, we are going to shut this shit down.
Yeah.
So you can I guess follow me on Instagram at Justin_TDPfishing.com. Not .com. like it's a fucking website.
He doesn't.
There's no website. Don't put the .com after it.
Just don't.
No, it's probably some gay porn.
There's likely to be a thumb button. And I want you to hit the one that means live.
Yeah, live. Yes, so this way YouTube doesn't sacrifice us. So
too many of those and lions will bite me.
Yeah.
And then I'll kill a lion and you all like cats. So
yeah. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to this shit, leave a comment, sit there and fucking talk some shit onto the shit talking podcast to where we talk about your shit. And you can be a part of it too.
Get in there.
Yeah, get in there. Get
stuck in. Roll around in the topics.
Well, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've had fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a good amount of fun, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah. So, take it easy. You guys, peace out, I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Go do something.
Yeah. Fucking
Time's
assholes.
up.
What the fuck are you doing?
Live your own lives.